Yeah. So, I mean, the book idea, first of all, I'm the last guy to ever think that I would be able to write a book. Like I haven't read a book since I got out of college. Like really, like I'm not that guy. And so I've just been in management for over 30 years. And probably about 15 years ago, I started doing the same talk over and over again to like new artists or wannabe artists or parents of kids who, don't want to go to college. They want to, come to Nashville. And so the parents are kind of like, how does this all work? And so I just started doing the same talk of just like, well, here's kind of one way that it could, flow. And here's how you might get introduced to a label and then a booking agent and then a promoter. And, so I just done the same talk so often that I decided to put it in a Prezi form. And because I was starting to leave out some important pieces during my talk. And so I put together a Prezi.com, it's a website. It helps you, put together a little slideshow or, whatever. And so I put that together about 15 years ago, and I've probably done that talk a couple hundred times. And I went to Liberty University and I gave the talk to David Nasser's like 70 core students that he had that were doing his convocation and doing the music. But he also had production guys and musicians and graphic designers and all that kind of stuff. And my talk really kind of goes to that. There's so many jobs in the music business other than just, being a singer, being an artist. And so I sat there and did my hour talk. And then afterwards, I was like, hey, I'll stick around for Q&A and maybe tell some stories, and literally sat there for 3 hours just talking to these students. And I left there thinking, you know what, I need to turn this talk into a book. And it wasn't 4 months later, the world shut down and I had nothing to do. And I was like, oh, I guess this is, my time. And my mom is no longer with us. And she always talked about doing a book. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this book, in honor of my mom. And she was an English professor for years and years. And she always had ideas of doing a book. And so I was able to just, grind it out. And I'm the author, but I got a ghostwriter to kind of help me put some story, intertwine some stories with it. And, my talk had probably 15 different topics. And so there's your chapter titles. It all kind of went naturally. And, my ghostwriter came in and really kind of tied it all together. And I didn't enjoy the end of the process, like the last push, like the last 2 months of deadlines. And, we had picked the release date and I didn't enjoy that. But other than that, it was fairly enjoyable.